Today we're going to talk about Ridgeline Minerals. We are a junior focused entirely on Nevada. We're a gold silver story that went public in August of 2020, so relatively new in the grand scheme of things. Got a quick disclaimer. We reference a lot of forward-looking statements here, obviously being a junior company. So, I guess just a quick overview of the company. Why invest in Ridgeline Minerals? We are, as I mentioned, Nevada-focused gold silver explorer. 4 highly prospective exploration projects in both the Carlin and Battle Mountain Eureka trends. So these are the main trends in Nevada, produce 95% of the gold in the state. And I think a few things that kind of set us apart. Not only do we have a massive land package, but we're a little bit different. We actually founded the company with the owner of a drilling company. So we have a strategic drilling contract that allows us to drill at cost. So this means more drilling, higher potential for discovery, and it's already working. We have announced a new discovery in late 2020 at our Selena project. This is a shallow oxide silver gold story and somewhat unique in Nevada. There's not a lot of open pit silver mines, so we're pretty excited to advance that. On top of that, we just recently announced a $20 million US earn-in with Nevada Gold Mines at our Swift project. So we kind of offer a bit of a unique opportunity here at Ridgeline. We're only a 20 million Canadian market cap company, give or take. Yet, we have a simple earn-in right now that is worth more than our entire market cap with Nevada Gold Mines, as well as a new discovery at our Selena project. So pretty exciting catalyst moving forward in the future for us. We've got a very strong team, tight share structure with only 15% is owned by management. We'll keep walking through here. A few key people to point out here on our team. I myself am a geologist, worked with Premier Gold Mines, now I-80 Gold, for years, running their exploration in Nevada. My vice president of exploration, Mike Harp, he was the senior geologist in charge of the discovery of the North Dark Star discovery for Gold Standard Ventures. So, Nevada's our backyard. We both live here. We've made discoveries in Nevada, and we're excited to make more for Ridgeline as well. So we've kind of surrounded ourselves with a really strong group of geologists, capital markets folks that have been there, done that before, found mines and sold them. So we're really trying to build a strong team as we grow. So, from a cap structure perspective, as of October 1st, we have 55 million shares outstanding. As I mentioned, 15% management ownership. We have roughly 3 million cash Canadian in the bank. We recently completed a financing in May of 2021 at 50 cents for 3.75 million. So we're trading below our most recent financing lately. So I like to think a nice opportunity. And we have about 70 million shares outstanding. So really tight share structure. I think with continued success of the drill bit, this could be a really exciting story for our shareholders. So we have our 4 projects. Bell Creek and Carlin East are 2 very strategic assets right in the North Carlin trend. They're on trend of the Leeville mine, which is only 3 kilometers away. On top of that, we have the Swift project. It's our 20 million earn-in in the Battle Mountain district. And then Selena, which is our new discovery. And that's down by the South Carlin trend, down by Bald Mountain. That's quickly turning into something we didn't expect. That is a true CRD exploration target, carbonate replacement deposit. Could be silver, lead, and zinc. It's getting pretty exciting. So I'll walk you guys through that in a bit. So we'll start with Swift. That's our earn-in with Nevada Gold Mines. As I mentioned, that's a $20 million earn-in agreement on a 75 square kilometer district scale asset. I'll walk you through the deal. So it started with, on signing of the deal, we were able to get $372,000 and change back in consideration for sunk expenditures at Swift in 2021. And there's kind of 3 parts to the deal. There's the initial earn-in, a second earn-in option, and a development funding option. They have the opportunity to earn up to 75% of the project across these 3 staged earn-in options. Starts with a 20 million US spend, 4 million of which is guaranteed in the first 2 years of the deal. That has to follow up with an additional 16 million within a full 5-year period for a 60% initial interest. On top of that, they can elect for a second earn-in, which would allow them to spend an additional 10 million US to earn 10% of the project on the second earn-in option by December of 2029. And then that's followed by the development funding option. And this is a really important part of this deal, right? Because most juniors, they do a deal, maybe it's a 60-40 joint venture, and then they end up getting diluted out when it actually comes time, if there's a discovery, to actually put that mine into development because they can't raise the capital to move that project forward. We've kind of cut that out. We can have NGM earn an additional 5% by providing third-party financing for our portion of the debt, which will allow us to never write a check again. This is a fully carried interest on the project. So if they elect for that option, we take it right to first gold pour alongside them, and we never have to write a check or dilute our shareholders to get there. So I think that's a really important part of the deal. This is a long-term deal for us. We believe in this project. We think NGM is going to make a discovery, and we're excited to be a part of it. So The reason they came in here and did this deal, you can see that our project in gray is directly on trend of the Gold Acres and Pipeline Mine, only about 5.5, 6 kilometers away. This is a district scale project that we took about 2 years to consolidate. And what really cracked it open for us is we drilled 2 holes in 2020 that didn't hit any gold, but we did hit the primary host rock in the entire Cortez district. So if you look at all those mines on that map, they are all hosted within the Wenban Formation, which is just a very good host rock in Nevada. We were able to prove that our project had that host rock when it had previously been thought to not exist on the property. Barrick and Placer Dome had actually owned this project up through until 2016 when they dropped it because they didn't feel it was prospective. So we were able to kind of tell a new story, reinterpret the geology, and have a really strong exploration team come back in and put their money where their mouth is and do some drilling. So we're really excited about this. And this is just kind of a conceptual target. Those are those 2 holes that we drilled. This is right across the center of the project. We drilled hole 2001 and 2002 last year, hit some very narrow, high-grade silver, low-grade gold. But really that important part of this story is showing that Wenban Formation, right? There's a historic drill intercept a couple kilometers away, drilled in the 1990s, that hit 18 meters of 0.65 gold, never got followed up on. This is a high priority area for the NGM team. They're excited to be drilling through what we call the Mill Creek Target or Mill Creek Corridor. And we believe they're going to be very strong, quickly advancing this towards the drill program in early 2022 potentially. So really exciting move for us. Allows money to be going in the ground at no risk to us and our shareholders. So could be lots of catalysts coming out in 2022. So moving on to Salina. Really what I want to highlight here, since I don't have a ton of time, is this is a 100% owned asset. For us, it's 39 square kilometers. It's a brand new discovery. We've drilled over 7,000, just under 7,000 meters of drilling in about 18 months, with highlight intercepts of up to 44 meters of 123 grams silver, 0.1 gold, 1.5% lead, and 0.6% zinc, shallow and oxide. So pretty interesting play here. Like I said, we're right adjacent to the Bald Mountain, Alligator Ridge mines, Golden Butte, which used to be owned by McEwen, and we're right beside a porphyry system, which is really interesting because that's not a typical type of deposit in Nevada, having like porphyry related mineralization. Usually it's true Carlin type systems. And what we're seeing is we're actually at our new discovery, we realize now we have a carbonate replacement deposit, which is directly related to the mineralization in that porphyry. And some good examples of that include up to 4.6 meters we drilled in 2021, of 421 silver, 0.6 gold, 4.4% lead, and 3.7% zinc. That is a true polymetallic CRD intercept. And if you look at why we drilled that intercept, you can see, I'm going to draw a little bit. What we drilled into, we initially thought we just had a gold silver system here at Salina, right? Just a typical shallow oxide, open pittable ore body. What we're realizing now is we just drilled into the zonation pattern of a larger porphyry system. That porphyry sits right on the edge of our property. It's a copper gold system owned by Quatera Resources, right on the edge of our project. And we drilled into the silver and the gold part of the system. As the metals zone away from that porphyry and it cools and the pressure and temperature changes, you get different types of mineralization dropping out. As you drill back towards that porphyry, we're starting to hit true CRD, silver, lead, and zinc mineralization. And that's evidenced by hole 24, which hit that 4.6 meter intercept. That is within a larger intercept of 10.7 meters of 194 grams silver, 0.3 gold, 2 lead, 1.7 zinc. We have hole 25, which hit that big wide intercept. Now that includes 13 meters of more similar grades to what we had in 24. So we started looking at this and go, wait a second, we don't have a Carlin type system. We have a CRD, and we now have 3 kilometers of untested rock here to go out and test in 2020, which could have huge upside for us. So we're going to look at a cross section that's along that line, looking to the north. Just want to show you what we think is going on here. Sorry, there we go. So this is our conceptual target. This is a to scale 3D model of our leapfrog model. We have the Quatera owned Butte Valley porphyry right here. They drilled lots of low grade copper and gold out there in the 1980s, 1990s, hasn't had much work since. Our mineralization we've discovered, it's sitting right at surface, dipping gently under cover. And it's transitioning from gold and silver rich to polymetallic from yellow to orange. So I apologize if this is a little slow or a little small here for you folks. So I'll try to zoom in a little bit here, maybe. There we go. And then what we have here is this is our conceptual CRD target. It's 3 kilometers. And based on just the typical porphyry zonation of any model, we already know we have silver, lead, zinc at surface here. We have copper and gold at the porphyry. All we have to do is test between those guys, and we should see high-grade polymetallic mineralization. So we're going to be drilling right around 6,000 meters next spring to just come in across that target, test multiple holes all the way across, and hopefully prove this concept. It should be pretty exciting. So that'll be a big catalyst for us heading into Q2, Q3 of next year. Let me move on to our next guy, Carlin East. Sorry, I'll zoom in a bit better here, folks, so it's not so small. There we go. So Carlin East is a very strategic land package for us. It's 35 square kilometers, directly on trend of some of the biggest mines in Nevada. And I just really want to highlight, look where this project is. We are sitting only 3.5 kilometers from a new discovery that NGM announced in 2020. They're hitting up to 23 meters of 32 grams gold, directly on trend of the 15 million ounce Leeville underground mine, which is currently in production. Barrick and NGM, sorry, I was calling Barrick, is currently drilling on the hillside about halfway between our project and that existing mine. They're continuing to step along this fault structure, which is a prospective zone. We actually drilled a 3,000 meter program there this fall, which we just completed mid-October, and we're going to have assays coming out in November. So assays are pending on that. We drilled the crash zone target, which is sitting right here in 21003 was our hole that hit the target zone. And we're going to see what comes out of that over the next 3 to 4 weeks as assays come back. But again, very strategic chunk of ground. We're directly on trend of a new discovery on the same fault zone that hosts that discovery. And we're hoping that we can have some excitement come out of that in the coming months. And this would just be that conceptual target right here that we'd be going after. So we drilled just a similar concept to Leeville, any of these main mines, and we'll see what comes out of it. But we'll keep our shareholders updated as the news comes out. So last project I want to show you is our Bell Creek project. It's purely just a postage stamp of mineral rights right adjacent to the Carlin East project. And you can see Carlin East is right here in gray. Everything in yellow is our Bell Creek project. It's 100% owned, and it's directly adjacent to the Wren deposit, which is currently being put into production by Nevada Gold Mines. i-80 Gold just horse traded the South Arturo project to i-80 Gold so that they could consolidate, or to Nevada Gold Mines, sorry, so they could consolidate this larger area. And we see Bell Creek as a very strategic chunk of ground, right? It's not a project we're going to be drilling right now. Very low hold cost. We'd like to see what NGM does with their development and their continued exploration in the area. And it could be a major catalyst for the company. Very low cost to hold, like I mentioned, and huge upside if there's any success along the margins of the project. So that's kind of a stay tuned type of project, but still very exciting for us. So moving ahead, what are our near-term catalysts? As I mentioned, we just did a $20 million earn-in with Nevada Gold Mines. And that, I think, is, when you look at the bigger picture, that's a bigger deal than our entire market cap as a company right now. They're going to come in at no risk to us, do expensive drilling on a deep target, and really move this thing forward in a way that, frankly, we probably couldn't as a company. We'd have to go out and raise $5 or $6 million Canadian just to try to even do the same amount of drilling they'll do in a single year. So that's our Q3 just finished up. Q4, we're heading into Carlin East drill results, as I mentioned. We're also working on that Salina CRD concept. So we're doing soils, we're mapping, we're going to be doing geophysics in early 2022, all to build that all out into a consolidated geologic model so we can go out and really aggressively test this CRD concept. So, from an upside perspective, we're partnered with some of the biggest companies in the world. We have 100% owned assets with great upside at Salina and Carlin East, and these strategic land positions on the North Carlin Trend that I think will continue to be, exciting drivers for the company. So I think I will wrap it up there.